The other day I'm just chilling and thinking, I want to watch somebody with mad skills play a video game. I typed in OlliOlli Rad mode, which is the toughest mode in the game, hoping to see someone with ungodly talent. The first thing that pops up on YouTube is an ad for the physical release of both OlliOlli 1 and 2 in one package called OlliOlli Epic Combo Edition for the PS4. How did I miss this? I'm a huge fan of both games and immediately check the prices. Generally, I get a sense of resignation as I search for an indie game that got a physical release. Prices tend to outstrip the value of the game for me, and I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. It turns out OlliOlli Epic Combo Edition is an affordable game. Boom. Ordered. It arrived just the other day, and I was happily surprised with the package. Let's see what OlliOlli Epic Combo Edition has to offer, shall we? There is no story in OlliOlli. We don't know how this guy got so good at skating. There isn't any explanation as to why he's stuck in a 2D plane, only scrolling right, eternally shredding. What's he skating away from? Probably his emotions. What we do know is how the English development team, Roll7, created the idea behind OlliOlli. That's because there's a documentary included on the disc for both games. These videos are short segments that show what the processes of development were like for the team. The videos are cool short films that tell how the concept of OlliOlli started and how OlliOlli 2 challenged the team to grow and evolve their original idea into a more ambitious project. The gameplay of OlliOlli is deceptively simple, yet extremely challenging to master. This is the hallmark of any good arcade-style game, and OlliOlli is exceptionally good at challenging the player without overwhelming them. The original OlliOlli takes cues from the Skate series and other contemporary extreme sports games, with the ollie and flip tricks being executed with the thumbstick. You can hold down R1 and L1 to modify tricks before you jump. You grind by tapping the left stick just before you land on the rail. To land a sequence of tricks, you have to hit the X button. Now, all of this will take you about 5 minutes to get a handle of, but there are elements of timing and momentum to account for. When you land on a rail or on the ground, you need to tap the corresponding button as you land to increase your speed and, consequently, your score. You'll know you did this by your character glowing green for a moment. Momentum plays a major role in the gameplay. If you don't hit enough rails or landings perfectly, you'll slow down to the point where you'll fall off your board and finally miss a jump. The bigger your combo gets, the more critical it is to land it perfectly. Combos can quickly go from hundreds of thousands of points to 1,000 or less simply from not sticking a landing. OlliOlli 2, Welcome to Olliwood, maintains all these elements and expands them with one of the best video game sequels of all time. Now, manuals and reverts have been added to your repertoire. Manuals are performed by hitting the X button and pressing left or right. Reverts are done by simultaneously pressing X and R1. You can go into a manual by pushing left or right on the stick. You can also switch while grinding if you land perfectly on the rail. These new tools allow you to combo entire levels and open up the established gameplay formula of the first game to much higher scores. All of this sounds pretty simple though, right? That's true, except the courses are devilishly designed in both games. Every rail, gap, and staircase is placed in such a way that it requires near perfection to get through, and your momentum is critical. In the original OlliOlli, levels are more or less on a horizontal plane. You go right and there's some drop-offs and gaps, but there's only one way to get through the level. OlliOlli 2 changes things up with ramps. These ramps allow for verticality to be implemented in the level design. The ramps give you a speed boost if you launch perfectly. Some ramps will lead to alternative routes, which adds variety to all of the levels. What's cool about both games is that the final zone, Neon City and Titan Sky respectively, make you synthesize all of the playstyles of the previous levels to successfully complete them. These levels are seriously challenging, but are very rewarding once you get the hang of them. In some ways, the OlliOlli franchise plays like a rhythm game. Each level has its own beat. You have to hit the beat perfectly to increase your score and to keep the song playing. One of the nice things about both OlliOlli games is the ease of restarting runs. If you bail, you can restart with the click of a button. No load times between runs keeps the game from getting tedious. The visual presentation is the biggest difference between the two OlliOlli games. The art direction of the original game seems, at first, more derivative of other indie games. The pseudo 8/16-bit graphics are something that's become synonymous with indie gaming. However, all the parallax scrolling and the backgrounds are amazing. The environments straddle the perfect balance between being interesting without being distracting. Levels are divided into zones, with a London-style gritty cityscape, a southwestern desert junkyard, a breezy seaport, a Soviet-style base in a tundra, and finally a neon-lit Asian city. All of these levels have a feel in both aesthetic and design. The tundra feels technical with lots of precision required to get through the level. The playstyle fits the oppressive look of the backgrounds. This is in direct contrast to the port, which is much easier to style on and more relaxed. I like each stage, but the neon train in the background of Neon City speaks to me. The skater is a little generic, but that's okay. OlliOlli 2 is an excellent upgrade visually without feeling like a departure from what makes the original game charming. The retro look has been traded in for an almost Adobe Flash animation look. The animations are more detailed for the skateboarder and the environments look more varied. The artist for OlliOlli OlliOlli 2 said he wanted the skater to have another kind of retro style, one more similar to Out of This World or Prince of Persia. This choice makes the skater seem more lifelike. The backgrounds have a more vector art style. There's still lots of scrolling and some after effects have been added, like lens flare. There are much bigger set pieces in OlliOlli 2, and the levels feel more diverse than the first installment. The zones are similarly divided into visual styles and play styles, but based on movie genres, the first stage is a movie lot. The cool thing about this zone is that you get a preview of the later levels through posters on the buildings. Then there's an Aztec zone with massive drop-offs and lots of spikes, a western zone that has launch ramps and is the easiest to get massive combos, a zombie theme park which is technical and has lots of tricky grinds, and finally a sci-fi zone. This zone has robots and is extremely big and diverse and technical. The coolest thing that both games offer is the animation of the skater. He and his board are not a 3D model. Each animation of the board's flips and spins are true to the tricks, and they have a painstaking level of detail. If I could pick and choose, I would keep the backgrounds of the first game and the skater from the second. The music in the OlliOlli series is outstanding. All the music is licensed, but there is a cohesion to the tracks that fits perfectly with the vibe of the game. The selections range from jazzy trip-hop to heady trance to straight-up dance floor bangers. Everything is firmly in the electronic genre, but the sheer variety in the choices means that the guys at Roll7 are some serious music nerds. Additionally, the cohesion of the selections makes for an excellent party mix. If you're a fan of Hudson Mohawk or Flying Lotus, you're going to love these OSTs. Let's take a moment and check out a little bit from both games. For me, I love listening to the music, vibing to it while I relax and play. The OlliOlli Epic Combo Edition comes with the soundtrack for OlliOlli 2, but it's only a download link. There are some sound effects, but the music is going to be the main sonic draw. OlliOlli Epic Combo Edition is one heck of a package. This disc will run you about $20, and that's more than a fair price in my book. It comes with a handsome manual and some great extras. Also, the packaging is very slick. It'll take you many hours to unlock all of the levels, and there are multiple difficulties. If you're just looking to relax and take it easy, you can unlock the next level just by finishing the previous one. There are 5 levels and 5 zones at first. You can unlock Pro Mode once you've completed the challenges in Amateur, which will unlock 5 more levels per zone. Across the 2 games, that makes 100 levels, plus Rad Mode, which I probably will never get to. Rad Mode makes you go back through each level, only allowing you to land perfectly. The only thing I wish OlliOlli provided is arcade stick support. Since this is a skill-based game, it's hard to describe the difficulty. I can't say the more time you put into the game, the more you'll get out of it. Since I began playing OlliOlli 2, I preferred it over the original game, until recently when I sat back down with both games and played them side by side. I started a new save file for each, and I was surprised how my feelings had changed towards both games after dozens of hours playing them. While OlliOlli 2 is an impressive improvement over the original game, OlliOlli 1 is a much more relaxed affair. With less variables to think about how to maximize your score, the game is much easier to zen out with. Of course, you don't get the crazy combos and high scores of OlliOlli 2 in a session with the first game, but it is more fun just to play. You can focus more on flow and style, and less on how to maximize every inch of the level. I've been playing OlliOlli since the first game was released in 2013. I always loved playing it on my Vita, and with the PS4 controller, it feels even better. Roll7 introduced us to a brand new experience in OlliOlli. I'm not sure if there's any reason to have another game though. I can't see where the franchise would go after the second game. I would absolutely love another installment, even if it was just new levels. I hope that OlliOlli will encourage other indie developers to take genres that are being neglected and put new spins on them, like OlliOlli did. Who'd have thought a 2D side-scrolling skateboarding game would be this fun and rewarding? OlliOlli Epic Combo Edition is the perfect package for folks interested in the game, but for one reason or another, haven't gotten to play it yet. This is Zach with Tanuki Games. Please remember that a like, a comment, or subscribe means a lot to me and of course the channel. Enjoy!